getting the band back together. They want me, but really, they need you.
Who is Echo? This mysterious new Omnic was revealed as part of the Reunion animated short, but she's been around a lot longer, lurking in the background of concept art, and there are even some hints of her in-game. We've pieced together every bit of information about this mysterious character, so let's answer the question, who is Echo? First, let's just look at the character. This is the first time we've seen an Omnic with a design like this. Her face in particular is very unique compared to the all solid metal heads we normally see. The unique design, extra detail, and effort to make her seem more human suggest that she's more than your average Omnic. Could her appearance perhaps be modelled after someone in particular? Maybe she's an echo of someone who's passed away, a human consciousness placed into a machine. The next major detail on her face is the logo. This is very similar to the one used by the Vishkar Corporation, and her overall aesthetic is also very reminiscent of Vishkar's designs. If there is a connection here, it suggests that she's formed from hard light technology, the same tech that Symmetra uses. There is also a passing resemblance to the symbol on the Petra map, however, this is more likely to be simply a coincidence. The symbol on the Petra map represents the archaeological group doing the work there, and is probably designed to look like a trowel or a spearhead. So back to her overall appearance. Like I mentioned, it's very reminiscent of Vishkar's designs, with white, gold and blue. However, the aesthetic around a lot of Overwatch tech is also very similar. This could just be a design style that Blizzard likes, but from a lore perspective, Vishkar have been known to be involved in corporate espionage, and Overwatch have also had their own share of shady dealings. Either group stealing tech and designs from the other wouldn't be all that surprising. Interestingly, this isn't the first time we've seen Echo's design. This general appearance has been around since the early days of Overwatch concept art, and she was once named Iris and had the Overwatch AI Athena's logo on her head. However, this has been confirmed by Jeff Kaplan to have never gone beyond the concept stage, and he explained the logo was only put there to give some detail to the otherwise plain white head. So that confirms the concept art isn't canon, and doesn't really tell us much outside of the fact she's been on the developers' minds for a long time. However, something that is canon are these Omnic parts on the Temple of Anubis. They clearly match the torso and roughly the head of Echo, except of course being in much worse condition. This could suggest that Echo is not as unique as we first thought. Perhaps she's the only one left of her style of Omnic, in a similar way to Bastion. But it's interesting to note these parts exist in the game itself. It's possible this could be a design of Omnic that was used by Overwatch in their peacekeeping efforts around the world. Giving a more human face to the machine could help to bridge the gap between humans and Omnics and reunite the two in the wake of the Omnic crisis. That would explain why the broken remains of some of them now exist as scrap metal in Egypt. A similar looking Omnic to Echo also appeared in the lineup of the recalled heroes in the Recall cinematic. It's possible the animators just used this design on a whim, but maybe Echo was on the list, although unable to answer as she was trapped in stasis. Let's go back to the cinematic and now look at some of the reactions and dialogue, as they also give us a lot of clues about who Echo is. To begin with, she's locked inside this container we've been pushing around on the Route 66 map for the past couple years, and the first person to open it is Ash, who has an interesting reaction.
Well, now you got my attention. What is it?
She doesn't know what Echo is. It's possible this is just because of the way she sat while inside the pod. But it could also suggest that this design of Omnic is either rare or unique. But in that case, what are those parts doing in Egypt? Eventually McCree fights off Ash and frees Echo from her chamber, and seems to activate her using a chip which he inserts into her chest. Where exactly he got the chip from is unknown. McCree has been serving as a vigilante since the fall of Overwatch. We know he's been active in Japan, where he was involved in a shootout, as well as the train incident in Texas, and most recently we saw him sleeping off a few drinks in Mexico. Right now it's impossible to guess where he got the chip from. He might have even had it since his days in Blackwatch. Once Echo is awakened, both of them greet each other as seemingly good friends, and Echo asks McCree about his arm.
What happened?
Well, that's a story for another time.
This gives us a time frame for how long Echo has been out for. McCree still had his arm during the events of Retribution and Uprising, which both took place towards the end of Overwatch's existence. So it's likely she's been out of commission for about the same amount of time that Overwatch has been shut down for. Whatever the case, judging by the train she was on, it seems she's been locked away by the US military ever since. McCree then confirms that he got the call from Winston to reform Overwatch, but rather than joining up himself, he knew what they really needed.
But I got a call. They're getting the band back together. They want me, but really, they need you.
This is pretty strong evidence that she was a part of Overwatch during its prime. McCree didn't have to refer to them by name, simply saying the band, and Echo clearly knew what he meant. And just to make sure there's no confusion, the next line really spells it out.
Say hi to the monkey for me.
Monkey?
Scientist. Whatever.
Still, no direct references to names, but it's clear that Echo knew he meant Winston and knew him well enough to know that Winston wouldn't like being referred to as Monkey. Also, the way that McCree quickly rides off into the sunset is a clear indication that he has no worries about Echo protecting herself and getting herself to Watchpoint Gibraltar. This indicates she's very capable and in no need of a guardian. Outside of the animated short, we did also get a few other details about Echo. In a few different places, Jeff Kaplan has described her as a very important character to the game's story. He also specified that McCree in particular has a close bond with her. Perhaps this lines up with the theory of her being an echo of someone who once lived. When McCree greets her, he does put a lot of emphasis on the word partner. Perhaps that has some deeper meaning rather than just being his normal cowboy speak.
Welcome back, partner.
So what do you think? Is Echo based on a human being, or is she entirely AI? What role did she play in Overwatch? Were there once many similar Omnics, and is there a connection to the Vishkar Corporation? Let me know your theories in the comments below. As always, this is James for Kaz, saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.